tension between the Democratic-controlled House and the White House reached a high point this afternoon after the Speaker made that announcement. So we've brought in the big guns here this afternoon to talk more about this whole inquiry against President Trump.
Yeah, John Dadian is here, political consultant. John, good to have you on the program.
Good afternoon.
You know, it's really interesting. This seems to be the very first step in a really long process, John. So does it accomplish anything?
A really long process for Congress that only has a few weeks left in session. So that all of these things are overlaying. I think today's a good example in today's media, and I realize you folks know this, how quick things move. I mean, it's only been 2 hours since Nancy Pelosi made her statement. Already things are changing. Joe Biden, I think, is a possibly huge loser today. Everything's already starting to blow back, and there's a lot of conspiracy theories about why that's happening.
So it seems like Democrats have wanted to, we know this, that they've wanted to impeach for a while. They were just looking for something, anything. So what are they going to be searching for specifically at this point to make this whole thing move forward now?
My honest answer is I don't know, because I think I'll jump ahead and say I think after all these couple years in office, they're still underestimating President Trump, because the two main issues today is the transcript of the phone call and the other issue. He says he'll release it, the whistleblower report. He says he'll release that by the end of the week, and the phone call he'll release tomorrow. So he's actually, I'm going to use the analogy, he's using a judo move. He's using their own weight against them. They say, we'll impeach you if we don't get the transcript of the phone call. Okay, here it is.
Is there anything in that phone call that the president could have said that would be an impeachable offense?
Oh, sure. And again, another issue, as I said, things are moving quickly today. All over the internet, there's a video of Joe Biden that he recently said that he did the exact same thing as vice president to help his son. So to answer your question, yes, if he said to the president of the Ukraine, I need this or you won't get any money, and it was for political purpose, absolutely. I think this president's smart enough.
So a specific quid pro quo versus kind of a, hey, it would be nice if X happened, and then maybe you'll get Y.
Correct. And there's so many reasons why he can explain it. For example, at one point he did stop the $1 billion going there, but he's going to say, 20 people I discussed with my national security advisors, et cetera. It was only temporary, et cetera. Unless there really is, from the phrase from Watergate, the smoking gun, I don't think there's any problem.
Okay, so then what are some of the pros and cons to releasing a transcript, in your opinion?
Oh, the biggest con is, and this goes through precedents down through history, especially the last 75 years with the technology that we have, is when you talk to a foreign leader, if he thinks that's going to be taped, made public, et cetera, he's not going to be as candid and forthright, et cetera. So this, and the other point is this sets a very unfortunate precedent, because if any foreign leader thinks, okay, even if he is taping me, he says it's not going to be released, but maybe pressure from Congress. So that's the huge con. The pro is that it addresses Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden's concerns directly, saying, you think I said something wrong? Here it is.
Why is she even doing this? I mean, this is going to be dead on arrival in the Senate.
Well, Nancy Pelosi is, I will say this on the record, Nancy Pelosi is one of the smartest politicians in American history. She's very good, because what she's doing, just a couple days ago, OCS blasted her for not moving ahead on impeachment. So she's covering her left flank, so to speak. But on the same time, keep in mind, Congress turned over last cycle with 40 seats. Most of those 40 seats are what we call swing districts. So she's very concerned about those. If they get too far to the left, if they go too far with this impeachment, et cetera, those of her new freshman congressmen could be in jeopardy of losing their seats. So that's why she's trying to not swing too far with the Biden OCS fringe.
So what happens now as we move forward? The election is on the horizon. Does this help the Democrats? Does it hurt them? Does it get them kind of focused on something that maybe, I don't know, is not something they want to focus on?
And again, things are moving so quickly, Logan, who knows what, in 20 minutes you may talk to me and I might have a different answer. But to answer you directly, so far today, at least, as of today, it doesn't hurt the Democrats. I think it hugely hurts Joe Biden. Now, there are some conspiracy theorists out there that think the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, but the Democrats, it's not a monolith. There's a lot of people that don't want Joe Biden to be the nominee. And there's some speculation that this is going on behind the scenes to hurt his candidacy. And guess what? I think this hurts his candidacy dramatically for today's events.
So this may, and you just may have answered it, but then is there any reason for Nancy Pelosi to do this today other than pure politics?
No. How's that for an answer, direct answer? And again, you use the term pure politics. As I said, She is the Speaker of the entire Congress, et cetera. Technically, both parties, but clearly she gets voted in by her party, okay? It's not a monolith. She's got these people on the left, so-called in the middle, conservative ones that want to keep their seats in her Democratic Party. So if you want to call that pure politics, that's what Congress is all about.
And so you just mentioned, you talked about this briefly, but the fallout from all of this on the Republicans and the Democrats, the president said, look, keep going up this tree, keep barking up this tree, keep investigating. You're going to find some answers. You're going to shake some things loose. What do you think is going to happen with all of that?
Again, the term that you just referred to is unintended consequences. That's exactly what I think is going to happen. I think one of the best statements going to reverberate is by Kevin McCarthy of California today, where he said, the election's over. And again, after the Mueller report, and then for peeps in this, I got to tell you, I think people are going to start having impeachment burnout, and they're not going to resonate to the Democrats' argument as much as they might have a month ago.
Well, stay close, because things may change in the next 20 minutes, and we'll want to talk to you again, John.
There's an old Chinese proverb, but it's actually a curse. Be grateful you live in interesting times. Doesn't get more interesting than this.
It's very interesting. John
That's a nice
Dadian.
way to put it.
Thanks,
Thank you.
John.
Thanks so
Political
much, John.
consultant. Great to have you.